Hey y'all, this is Crow here. I'm streaming for a bit, I guess. Um, I am having a difficult time explaining now that I'm 20 years old. So, what I'm going to do is explain the internet history of me. Basically, like, I've gone off with controversy, but then actually would slowly stop making videos all at the same time. But yeah, I'm gonna make a bunch of videos. Well, not a bunch of videos, but I'll make more content whenever I'm back. Because I am kind of back-ish. Yeah. Let's start off with the time that I was fully on the internet until kind of like my slow departure. So, here's how it all began. It was November 2016. I just joined YouTube fully. Like, actually. I had a phone. I would record like basically shitty content. And my actions were not that good, I'll admit it. I was like really mean to other people and extremely judgmental, which of course was also not good for me either. And I kept telling people to stop swearing a lot at the age of 12. I would make videos of myself trying to speak the languages that I barely knew? Question mark? Yeah. Like, I kind of still know a little bit of Japanese and shit, but not so much. And there's the kitty cat. Get down! Get down! Get down! Anyway, as I explain it, I made a lot of shitty content. And my drawing was meh for a 12-year-old because I was trying to improve on my drawings, but they're still kind of in a 9-year-old level. And again, I was an ass. I would make this OC child shit. And that was during the time that I had on and off beef with like basically everybody on the internet. Oh yes, 2 people saw my stream. I can't even bother to look at the chat, but there was a lot of shit that happened in 2016. I would get upset and people would make shitty videos of me kind of to like stoop down to my level, which of course was also not okay either. And I'm gonna go find my phone so I can read the chat. I'll be RB. And I'm remaining anonymous for now on. I'm back. Sorry it took long for the wait, but anyway. November 2016 and December 2016, they were the worst months of the year because 2016 was the worst time to be on the internet anyway. Especially since I tried being in the animation community, which did not go well. And then flash forward, I was still in that middle school relationship in person. Now we kind of talk about the whole poly thing. But I am poly now. And I'm working on boundaries and relationships. Well, let's actually still stay on the topic. Because December 2016 was basically the worst time. Shitty hangout calls a lot. And people were really mean to me too, just as much as I was mean to them. They stooped low to my level. And then somewhere around January, February 2017 was when I met up with the Go Animate community. And oh my gosh. Can we not believe this? It was ass. The Go Animate community is ass. For sure. And I was basically a joke, kind of like joining in this whole, like, fast-paced pregnancy Go Animate shit and the whole giving birth shit. Because, I was a stupid kid. I was 12, joining in that type of shit. And they could have given me a brain. And I'll admit, I was crazy. I made shitty content, even with the pic collage shit. In the actual animation site, obviously. And this was also me pre-transition. That's what I did pre-transition. It was a lot of crazy shit. And then flash forward to around May 2017 was when the hate started really getting to me. When this one user that was like 3 to 4 years older than me would make a shitty video of me and calling me out in a so-called positive criticism way, which is, of course, far from the truth. And then that's when, like, around May to June is when people also started to troll me. And I get people that barely knew me to troll me and stoop this low into my level. And that lasted until someone had called a lot of the people out for trolling me. Including that one person. Well, I'm going to say Amanda Rose got called out too on her behalf. She's a pedophile now. The little bitch that got called out for trolling me as well, then actually had the balls to apologize to me, is now a pedophile. And then another person who now goes by Shadow, actually. Yeah, their hate was so bad during that time too-ish. And people were honestly giving them shit. And they barely knew me too. To the point where I would take a picture of myself and then people would call me a sock puppet. And I'm like, no, the fuck I'm not a sock puppet. I'll prove it to you right now. And they're like, oh, I'm stupid. And then everything was kind of going great, even though I did lose my patience at times. So I'll admit, I still struggle with that. Flash forward to around November, from after I turned 13, was when people started to hate me again because I would be impatient a lot. Without the lack of understanding. Without understanding me, actually. That was to the point where I had a ton of mental breakdowns because of the shit that they put me through. And once again, they stooped this low to my level when I was 13. Okay, it was November 8th. And about the whole online dating thing. The GoAnimate dating community was a joke. It was the biggest joke to me. I was a joke to the GoAnimate community. It was getting bad already. And this entire time, the whole online dating thing, the relationships I were in were not that real. They were fake. And they became faker. I was single the entire time since 2017, okay? Even when I would get on like multiple online relationships in the GoAnimate community. Because I was trying to focus on real dating, though. Let's flash forward. December 2017, they kind of started losing hate on me slowly. Even after I had kind of gone through a mental crisis at 13. And that was also around the time that people were still bullying me. January 18th wasn't so bad, but then, oh boy, we're going to talk about March 2018. So March 2018 was around the time people started hating me. And it was because I sent a half-lewd pic to a troll. And they could have been better with their criticism, positive, and just say, instead of stooping low or giving me the sort of negative criticism, they could have been like, hey, you can't be doing that. You've got to listen to people instead of listening to that troll. Because, oh yes, the troll for months and months on end would try to be perving on people, making the fake Arthur account. That troll is dead now. And it kind of has been going on since around the time I was still in that shitty online relationship. But it was also around the time my nieces were there. For a bit. But let's still stick to March 2018? Oh, yes. Because 2017 was constant negative criticisms and constant trolling and constant making shitty videos out of me to stoop that low into their level. Hey! Because, 2018 was also shit, too. Even though I got braces in January 2018, which was 7 years ago. And people started hating me fully after my account was basically stolen from me from one of my old friends that I went to middle school with. It was terrible. It was a terrible time because insults were thrown at Selmy like no tomorrow, and Zechariah would Step Up was also a known pedophile. Oh, let's not forget Zachariah, because that was the same bitch that flashed at me when I was a minor. I was 12, and that was during the trolling. That is called stooping very low into my level, and that's called inappropriate behavior. I, as a 12-year-old, was naturally grossed out. People were attacking me like no tomorrow over this shit, and then they would claim they were giving me constructive criticism when their criticism was nowhere near constructive. It was ass. And then around 2017, 2018, or 2019 was the use of the N-word, which was a shitty thing to do. I'll admit. But my hatedom kind of died down around, I don't know, April 2018? Yeah. And this was around the time this was, like I said, around late March, early April 2018 was when my hatedom started to die down, and realized that I was getting framed. Because, I'm not going to lie, I was in fact framed for something I didn't really do, which was make another person cry or flash at stupid Zachariah. Because my voice was very high-pitched. Now it's like kind of lower-ish. And then things were going good from April 2018. Got an online relationship for 9 months, whatever, yada, 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 which turned out not to be real either. But again, both had busy lives. Because again, I don't really remember how many exes I've had. So everything was going a bit good for about a year. Ish. Especially when I had art of me before, which I don't remember anymore. And then I fully joined MeWe. Around February of 2019 for realsies. Before Google Plus shut down and I deleted Google Plus for good. MeWe was also not the best time either. Because I was in middle school. I was in 8th grade on MeWe. Still going through a mental health crisis. Because, mind you, I was still traumatized from getting bullied at the old school that I grew up in. It was a lot. For sure. Because 2017 and 2018 were the worst years. But let's not forget 2019 either. Because everything kind of went good. Although the OC siblings thing was just a shitty trend. Another shitty trend to join in. I don't know. Whatever. But then the real part came in. June 8th or June 9th was starting to get worse. I was on a hangout call with two of my, well, friends, to say the least. I don't know. And then, not gonna lie, I was pressured to troll a troll with nudes. It was gross. Looking back, instant regret flashed over. And then Sniper, Lulu, and TV would harass me nonstop to where I didn't get any much sleep. Woke up, and then more people started turning on me instead of actually educating me. And shit. And then I would make a lot of SOS live streams crying for help, trying to explain myself, and nobody gave me time to explain myself. That was when I also, during one of the streams, I also had a mental breakdown. And I would get told that I'm crying like I'm lying. And my emotions were basically invalidated too. And then the word criminal would be thrown around like no tomorrow. And I would try to join in that emo group because, my alternative phase, I was a normie, right? 2019 was the worst for months. People were still assholes to me. There were still people still on my side despite the fact that I was young and was not really supposed to show my body. Because people were just, defending me because they knew I was still young and all that shit. And we all would talk about our regrets and shit. But then an apology came in around 2020 and so on for the shit that they've done. The prank call incident was bad. I'm back. I was on mute for a little bit. But I might be on mute again for a little bit so I can tell more of the story. Oh, and I can't show my face either, by the way. Alright, I'm back. But 2020 was around the time that apologies were given to me because they threw around the word criminal like no tomorrow and pervert and all that shit. They apologized on that. They also threw around the word sex offender too, saying that I was going to go to jail. Yeah, that was not cool. They stooped low to my level once again. Even, I'm going to say this, even Drizzler, same guy I mentioned about that was 3 to 4 years older than me or whatever, and would stoop this low to my level. Same with Samoria and Nickadoodle. Yeah. Because, Yeah, even Zion Mathis was a part of the drama. Gave me some sort of negative criticism, but actually did owe me an apology later on, too, which was this year. But like I said, let's get back to 2020. Yeah, more people started apologizing. And then the Shonda Vlogger situation was talked about. Which, I'm not gonna lie, he was an ass, but he's doing much better now. And Zinderin kind of took part in the drama, but not really. I was crying. I was going through a mental crisis. Yeah, and I still do not like Billy Hatashita. Okay? He's an asshole. I had made shitty content over the years, especially being a joke to the Go Anime community, and actively getting groomed on top of that. And looking back now, that was a shitty thing of me to do, which was, as far as I say, go on the internet, bash people's opinions on other users, learning the term good users and bad users don't exist. They still don't. They're just normal human beings. And then people would never believe that I would change at all. But guess what? After 2020, I started surrounding myself more with IRL friends, okay? Somewhere around 2021 was the Go Anime community being a shitty place for me to still be in. I don't talk to some people that much on the internet just because. Oh, yes, now it's called a traitor. Not cool. Yeah, because I started isolating myself in 2021 after I got broken up with because I was in a toxic relationship. Yeah, 2020 was the apologies coming in because, yeah, I was in a relationship in real life. The whole situation was terrible. The Go Anime community was shit. I started to despise everything about the Go Anime community. And I've gotten better. I gotten better. But not quite. I'm still going through a lot of shit. But here's the thing. 2022 was also the worst time for me as well. And I'm going to mute again. Yes. Because I was also wanting to stay single forever and not rush into another relationship. I was reading. Only because I feel like someone's watching me. not going to lie. 2022 was also the worst time after 2017 throughout 2021 or whatever. But I've gotten quite better with a lot of things. I also matured in a way. It was a hard time for me to speak up about this. But again, I am still very young. No matter how many mistakes I make. And I do learn. Because at the end, I'm going to really make a message. Because people would think I'm going to be irrelevant for a long time. Yeah, because it kind of looks like these people got off the internet. But again, stealing copyrighted content in 2016-2017, I would also admit to that. That was ass of me looking back now from 8 years ago. Yes, because this was 8 years ago.
Why isn't Bob running around?
I'm just sitting on mute once again, and I don't know why. Because like I said, I feel like no one's watching me, but I will be back soon. I am back. Again. 2022 and 2023 were the worst times. I was still stuck in school. I was primarily struggling a lot mentally. But I have also made a bunch of awesome high school friends. And that's also when I started going by Crow instead of my dead name. You know, crazy. Because I went from the crazy kid at 12 years old to now a 20-year-old who actually is well, let's say, having a life. Because 2023 was, 22 was bad. I also got onto dating apps around the time I was 18. But then I kind of stopped using them for a while because that's when the guy that I barely talked to came into my life. We started talking anymore around January 2023-ish. And I'd only seen that man at school. And he took advantage of me in March. But it could have been
What's
more.
the matter?
I am once again back. 2023 was around the time that I was being in an abusive relationship. And then I got out by the 24th of March because I got dumped that way and I didn't care that I got dumped. I started getting better progressively more. Even after I got out and got like 2 to 3 tattoos around 2023, now it is, and then it became 2024. Yeah, because in 2024, I wasn't in a poly relationship. Because I also came out as polyamorous, too. Yep, that's right. 2024. Came out. And I also, yeah, that's like after I came out as non-binary around the, like fully around the fall of 2021 and queer in 2022. And again, I was going through a crisis about that. Woo! I had 2 partners at one point. And there were boundaries. Because now I'm still polyamorous and I'm going to stay single forever. Till further notice. My needs were never met. In any past relationships. I'm slowly getting better. That's all good. I was just streaming about the entire truth about myself. How people were like stooping so low to go after me when I was 12 up until I was like 14, 15 years old on the internet. again, I just wanted to tell the truth, people. Hugs. Thank you. Because I don't know if the other people have still owed me an apology yet. Probably not. But I know the person that prank called me back in 2018 doesn't mess around with prank calls anymore after being grounded. And I've grown. I'm still growing as a person. I'm about to be 21 in October. I had a girlfriend at one point in 2024 and also a boyfriend. All of the three of us were basically T for T. So she had other partners in that chart too. And we all broke up due to mental health crises. And again, I'm going to start all over again with, as friends. I'm back again, and so here's what I'm doing now. Now that I'm 20, I've done the deed. It was terrible. But it was both pleasant and unpleasant at the same time. And then on top of that, pretty much gained and lost friends. Or trying to make friends. Sorry about the sneeze. But I just wanted to explain the lore. Not really the lore, but the entire story. About what happened to me 8 years ago. Oh, and let's not forget it. Since people want to say that I'm faking my autism and all that shit, I'm not. I am autistic. And you're right. You said you have to be born with autism. Yeah, you were kind of right, but at the same time, you kind of stooped to my level and then said I don't have it. I do. I was diagnosed with autism when I was 2.5 years old. I was born with it. Maybe my parents were not doing much research out of this, to be fair. Because in 1998, a claim about vaccines causing autism was written by a shitty doctor that lost his medical license. No, they don't. I was wrong at 12 for saying that. It just triggered more symptoms of mine. That's all. No matter how many times I get the shots, still can't fucking talk, but speech therapy worked wonders for me as a child. And at times I might have used my autism as an excuse for what I did was wrong. But now, y'all can cut the shit. I'm still kind of wrong at times. But again, my social cues are terrible. I was diagnosed as a baby. I didn't talk until I was 4. I was in speech therapy since around 2007. Or 2008. Yeah, 2008. Y'all can say that shit all you want. It's not okay. First of all, to stoop this low into my level, throw around the words like no tomorrow, like criminal and shit. I'm not a criminal. And you're right, I should have said no, looking back at it now. Like I said. But now that I'm about to be 21 and I'm explaining so well, I'm proud to be autistic. Reading doesn't cure nothing. Because, speaking of which, I'm still autistic. And what RFK Jr. said was very shitty. Sure. I just gotta find out how to do that. I just did that for my stream. In case. Welcome back, Missy. Yeah. I'm just trying to explain to the people that said this shit to me years ago. Although they say they moved on or whatever. But anyway, Smorio and Drizzler and Nicanoodle and Sniper Lulu and TV, etc. If you are watching this stream, just know I've actually changed. Just know I have a life now. I do my 420 shit. I'm polyamorous. I came out of the closet. I'm still a diagnosed autistic. I got out of an abusive relationship. Those are all achievements. Out of the blue. But I highly doubt all of you would ever watch this. Y'all put me through a lot of shit, and that was not okay. That was not okay to stoop that low into my level, and then because I wanted to be left alone after you, Sniper Lulu and TV, harassed me, and you didn't listen. You just wanted to make my life hell. Hope you realize what you did to me was wrong. Same goes to you, Smoria, and same goes to you, Drizzler, and same goes to you, Nicanoodle. Even changing the title of that one video means with the use of whatever slur and shit. Yeah. I've also been around someone that frequently uses slurs. Who got played by, like me and her got played by the same guy. It was not fun. Thank you. Like, whoever has the balls to say shit like that again is out of my life. And I believe y'all are out of my life. Because I know there are some people that haven't apologized for their past actions towards me and how they have stooped this low to my level. And yeah, I'm not a MeWe anymore. I quit MeWe for good. Because like I said, I have a life of my own. Period. I am still autistic. I still sting. And all that shit. You're right, reading a book doesn't cure autism, it just makes you have brain cells. Yeah, because reading a book actually makes me have more brain cells than ever. And it gave me more brain cells by the time I was 11 years old. I was a dumbass for thinking that it was a cure. Fascism is still taking over the country. I got around almost all the people in my life too. I'm 175 centimeters now too. Alright, good night. Also, life update. I am now staying single until further notice, like I said. I'm turning 21 soonish. And I'm gonna have a Zoom meeting with my comrades. I'm a commie. I'm a communist now. Because I joined the party this year. I'm also a Satanist. I developed a religious trauma. I was definitely going through a lot of shit. Even during the time internet controversy slipped out like no tomorrow. I have a license. Been had a license for almost 2 years. And, yeah. Now I'm getting better with making better relationship choices. In the future. And also my childhood best friend's gonna come here. And I'll probably make another stream when I have time. In the world. Hopefully when people listen to my story. Yes, I was a shitty person years ago. All the way down to about 6 years ago. Because people thinking that I've never changed. I did. For the better, not for the worse. Thomas told me that did the funny voices. Yes, I've done funny voices. I should have joined the internet when I was 16, not 12. But it's whatever. It's life. Could have been better with... Oh yes, Mario. If you are also watching this, you could have given better advice about... You could have given constructive criticism about how not to... Like, you could have given better constructive criticism to me whenever I told you about Zechariah going after me when I was a minor. And how that shouldn't happen. Or whatever. My parents have gotten better. Ish. But they're skeptical. More skeptical than ever. I go on a ride with commies. I have communist meetings. Because I really changed for the better. I swear. I still swear. I also kind of lost a friend that, I'll admit, is naive. Very, very naive. As always. Despite trying to get the hell out of relationships that are not good for her mental health. She got out of that one abusive relationship because I've seen her abuse her. And the bitch tried to add me and I refused to I like refused to add him back on Snap because honestly, he was the one that told me and one of my other friends to leave. And I don't want to sound like dirt, but my friend's naive. That one friend I had that is very much naive. She lied about me stealing money from her, which is not true. I was not given the chance to explain myself at all. But I'm getting better. I did pay dues in January and February, but not like March or April. So I'm making up for the dues that I didn't pay for tomorrow. Anyway, I'm gonna end the stream now. It's been almost an hour. I'm still kind of struggling to sleep, even though I slept like very long. But again, it's 5 a.m. I explained the entire truth. Not really the entire truth, but some stories about the lore, the online game lore, and all that shit. That was true. Like me admitting to making cringy content 8 years ago and being mean to other people. Hopefully they realized that I won't be on YouTube as much, but I'll only be on YouTube a little bit, making content. A little bit. Anyway, that's all. Like I said, bye!